Yo, what's up, gamers? Welcome to the gym. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's freaking go, chatters. Oh, I'm ready for some Pokemon TCG Standard League tonight. That's what we've got on the agenda here at Full Grip Games. Thank you so much, Tony, for that sub, the prime sub in the 52 months. Also, a very special birthday wish going out to Gwen, Ferns the Fern there in the chat. Hopefully you've had a wonderful day as well. I have been, man, I feel like since moving into the studio, I still haven't quite gotten to just catch up yet. And I'm still getting caught up. I feel like I got kind of behind in releasing videos and the videos that I wanted to put out. And it's every day. I just am on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm just straight up just working from 9 to 11. Every day. I come in at 9. I work my butt off on trying to make these, video edits that I'm working on and stuff like that. Thank you. It's your boy, Rhett Law. Thank you so much for that prime sub in the 9 months. It's just been really busy lately. I am so excited about this freaking video that I'm putting out, though. I don't even know how many hours I've put into editing this new Tricky Hideout video. It's kind of ridiculous. Thank you, thank you, Bird Lady Thea. Thank you, Thea, for that prime sub as well. Thank you, Moss705, for that sub. Appreciate it. The 30-minute bulk deck video. This video hopefully will one up that video. That's the hope. I'm really putting 110% effort into this new video, and it should be it's coming along. All right, I'm 25. The video is 25 minutes completely edited, totally done. Yo, thank you, your boy Rhett Law. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. I appreciate the good vibes and the encouragement there. It goes a long way, because I feel like I'm really in the trenches with content right now, just trying to really working hard on trying to get this stuff out. And I'm kind of working through and figuring out what my new groove is, but the motivation is so high. My motivation is so high right now because these new videos that I'm making, you'll see with this next video that's coming out for Tricky Hideout, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I think that I really believe in the potential of these kinds of videos that I'm making, and they're also just so fun. I'm cracking myself up editing them, really. Yo, what's up, Purple Cliff in the chat? Yo, I appreciate it. Thanks, Jack. Hopefully you're doing well. Yo, the sub in the 44 months. I really appreciate the continued support there, Jack. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you, Mr. Mount Badu, for that sub in the 46 months as well. Yeah, I'm really stoked about this new video that I'm making for the Hideout channel. It's kind of crazy and unhinged and just fun. So hopefully you guys like it. It'll probably go out tomorrow, but we'll see. I mean, really, the editing is just taking so long. But then I'm motivated to put the editing into it too. It's really, I don't know. I sit down and I'm how long could this take? And then it's 8 hours go by and I'm oh my God, I guess it could take pretty long, huh? Yeah, video editing just takes so long. But honestly, it's been fun to kind of dust off my video editing chops and actually try to put stuff together myself. I was a self-taught video editor in high school, and then really that was just it, right? I downloaded a bootleg copy of Adobe when I was I don't know, 15, and just started editing my own skate videos and stuff. And so my video editing abilities are kind of limited in that way, because I just it's always just been like whatever I needed to do, I would just figure it out or look it up or whatever. But now that I'm trying more creative stuff, I'm finding myself like still continuing to learn a lot about video editing and stuff like that. And it's been a fun journey to like continue learning stuff in my 30s. I mean, it's been awesome, honestly. So I'm excited to continue growing as a video editor as well. But dang, dude, it's a freaking grind though. Tell you what, you gotta like, you just lock in. You sit there and you're just staring at the same video clips over and over and over and over and over again. And like before you know it, you hate your video, right? I'm like at that point where I've spent so much time. I've probably put like over 40-ish hours into editing this video right now. And part of that is that I am not super efficient as a video editor yet. So like I know I'll get better and better and better and better, and like more efficient. But like it gets to the point where you spend so much time working on your video that like by the end of editing it, you're like, this thing sucks and I hate it. and you've like nitpicked everything wrong with it. Anyways, so like part of me growing as a YouTube creator too is like me learning how to like kind of let go of some of that stuff and just like and whatever, just send it, right? Like it doesn't matter. So let's freaking go. Okay. League Night Standard Edition. Oh yeah, dude. We got Holden up for Standard League. Yo, this is exciting. I haven't gotten to commentate over Holden yet. And I've known Holden for quite some time. So this is quite a treat. We've got last week's winner, last week's GLC winner, Tony. We had a huge 32-player Gym Leader Challenge night last night at here at Full Grip Games. You know, thank you, Baja Monster, for that sub in the 28 months. Appreciate you. And Tony won. Tony usually a standard grinder, but showed up for Pokemon Day here at Full Grip and played in our Gym Leader Challenge League and then won that. So won his first Gym Leader Challenge badge, which was awesome. And really cool to see him really flex his stuff with both players. Cool. Not with both players, with both formats. Dang it, dude. All right. Here we go. Flex his skills in both formats. Typing and talking is like impossible. I'll tell you what. Never been able to master that. Never. There we go. Overlay looks great. Graphic design is my passion. Perfect. So Holden works here at Full Grip Games. He is the bulk master. He is the bulk commander, if you will. He is the guy at Full Grip who sorts the bulk. And he also does like everything else, like all the odds and ends. Like anytime we need some muscle around the shop and things need moved, I feel like Holden somehow always ends up being the guy to have to move heavy things. So he also somehow it's part of it is that I think he's just always there. So yeah, excited to see what Holden has brought for us. Now, Holden is also a very accomplished Smash player. So I think that's his main grind. I don't want to like, I don't want to speak for him, but I'm pretty sure Smash is like his main thing. He like travels out to tournaments all around. His tag is Winter Shorts. Yeah. He Winter shorts. Yeah. And I know he's like you're pretty good on like the local regional scene. And like goes to tournaments and all that stuff. So yeah, but he definitely is a multidisciplinary gamer. I mean, he's into Pokemon. I know he knows how to like play Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Plays Smash. I mean, yeah, Holden's a real gamer's gamer. And let's go. Our first round is underway, and it looks like Tony has got Lost Zone box against Holden with Raging Bolt. So we'll see how it goes. Tony's going to be going first. Scott's Comfy, and we'll use Flower Selecting, really. Considering this first selection, ooh, it is the Blood Moon Ursaluna, and it's like, okay, you can't ditch the Blood Moon Ursaluna because that is like your guy. Now, Tony is sitting on the Colress's Experiment, so it doesn't have a dead hand, but did have to bench that Sableye because he runs the risk of getting benched if he doesn't. I mean, if Holden's able to launch a turn 1 attack with Raging Bolt, then it's lights out, game over. Oh my God, and look at those beautiful energy. That's right. Holden has got a wonderful looking hand as far as like the art goes. It was absolutely incredible energy. And I think that he is just going to, oh my God, Burst Roar, discard that entire hand, draw 6. So a brutal start for Holden. No nest balls, no nothing in that hand. And just decides to Burst Roar. Loses 2 Sada's Vitality with the Burst Roar, and now Tony has got to Colress's Experiment. And is choosing a couple of cards to Lost Zone off of that. Letting go of the Bundler and a Crispin finds Buddy Buddy Poffin. So going to be able to search the deck for a pair of Comfy, but also doing a quick prize check. Make sure he's not losing count of anything there. And make sure there's not too many things in the prize cards that he'll need in this game. Going to grab a pair of Comfy and put those onto the bench. I did see a couple of switch cards in Tony's hand as well, so not going to have to worry about getting that Sableye out of the active spot. Should be able to ramp up the cards in the Lost Zone pretty easily from this spot. Holden, obviously, with a pretty terrible turn 1 going second. I mean, 2 Sada's Vitality in hand, but no way to go get a Radiant Greninja or anything to get energy into the discard pile to start swinging, which is really where he wants to be there. Playing the Raging Bolt deck against this Lost Box deck, you really want to just kind of put on as much pressure as you can, as quickly as you can. Now we do see that Holden's playing an Iono in this list and opted not to bench the Luminion to go for Iono. So that would have been an option. Pretty sure he did Burst Roar away a Luminion and decided instead to just let that hand go. Tony's got Cramorant now with 4 cards in the Lost Zone. So Cramorant can use that Spit Innocently attack for free. And with another switch card, here we go. Cramorant's in the active, 110 damage, Spit Innocently. Kind of funny, right as Cramorant will be rotating out of our standard formats, we've got another Cramorant on the way with Hops Cramorant, which also has a very strong low energy cost attack. So that Cramorant fans will not be want for a Cramorant in format, even with this one rotated out of standard. Holden using Nest Ball, and we'll go grab Teal Mask Ogerpon, put it onto the bench. Debating if there's any other play he wants to make. Got a second Nest Ball. And I imagine we'll see a second Teal Mask Ogerpon or another Raging Bolt. He does have a Raging Bolt in hand, so I'm thinking another Teal Mask Ogerpon will be the move. Just get another one of those down. Or Radiant Greninja could also be a grab. There's no energy in this hand yet. He may just be going for... Oh, there is a Vessel, though, so... Could use Vessel, and I imagine that we will see that. Pheasantipity EX ends up being the choice, kind of seeing that this Raging Bolt is not long for this world, right? Earthen Vessel. I mean, the gear is like kind of low value right now because you got 2 Sawdust Vitality in the discard pile. So tough. Okay, actually getting rid of the Iono, saying I don't want to play that Iono. Who cares? I'm going for broke. All right, I love it. In the Pokegear 3.0 we trust. Let's go. Shuffling up, we got a Grass and a Fighting off of the Earthen Vessel. And then Teal Dance, draw a card, Energy Retrieval, good hit. There's a couple energy in the discard pile. Holden let go with that turn 1 Burst Roar. And then here's the gear. All right. Do we find one of the 2 remaining Sawdust Vitalities here? That's going to be a no, Holden. No. Unfortunate. Swing and a miss. However, Raging Bolt will still be able to attack. And I guess Holden does have the Pheasantipity EX in play, so not totally without draw power, but there we go. Burst Roar, Pokestop off the prize. And the first prize card has been drawn of this game. But I gotta say, Tony is looking pretty good right now. He's got that Blood Moon in hand still. Switch cards. Pheasantipity EX as well. You don't really want to bench the Pheasantipity EX. It does look like Anthony's got like 2 Super Rod, 3 Super Rod in this hand. So just... That's a lot of Rod. I mean, that's a lot of Rod to have in your hand, you know. 3 Rod. Not a terrible place for them to be in the hand. I mean, it is what it is, right? Allows you to put the energy back into your deck so that you can then use Mirage Gate to accelerate them into play. Anthony is able to find a Colress's Experiment off that Flip the Script, and here we go. That's going to put us up to 7 cards in the Lost Zone, which would activate that Mirage Gate, and I do think I see 1 Mirage Gate in Anthony's hand. Let's see which cards he decides to ditch here. Looks like Iron Hand's going to go, as well as an Energy. Do have to be careful letting go of Energy, but these are calculated choices. Anthony to do a prize check there on the first turn or second turn, and knows just how many energy he can afford to let go of while still having enough resources to be able to win the game. So here, it's a matter of trying to figure out who is the attacker going to be, right? Hisuian Heavy Ball. Because there's no basic search, right? So even though Anthony is like kind of cruising, you know, as like a solid enough board, it's this situation where you have to find an attacker that can actually continue to put pressure on. We're not at the 10, we're not at 10 cards in the Lost Zone yet, so Sableye is not an option. The Cramorant is in the discard pile, and Anthony has not used Super Rod to put the Cramorant back or anything like that. Radiant Greninja is in the prize card, so we're going to fish that out with Hisuian Heavy Ball. So it could be a weird position where Anthony just doesn't quite have the correct attacker this turn. But I do and if Anthony benches the Radiant Greninja, then you can't bench any other Pokemon, so the Radiant Greninja would kind of have to then become an attacker. And Radiant Greninja is not the worst Pokemon to attack with this turn, though we do see there is a water energy in the Lost Zone already. Radiant Greninja could hit the active and the bench Fezandipity EX, kind of set some stuff up for Sableye later. And then I was going to say, okay, Anthony is able to find a Nest Ball. If he wants to go Cram again, he has to Super Rod the Cram back into the deck and then Nest Ball for it. So I expect that's what we're about to see. Here we go. Super Rod. Yup. Cram the Lightning Energy. And then Nest Ball to go get the Cram back. And just going to poke 110 again into the Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt's so huge. I mean, really. 220 damage, still not knocking it out. It's kind of crazy, right? Like the Lost Box deck. Still in a good position, but it's kind of wild that you're not hitting the 2-hit KO with the Cramorant back-to-back. On a basic Pokemon. That Raging Bolt's 220 damage piled on it. And weirdly, Holden actually cannot use Fezandipity. I mean, I think Holden was kind of anticipating that Fezandipity would get to draw cards this turn, but that's just like not the reality that we're living in. So, yeah, Holden actually does not have any draw going on. Now, funny enough, Holden could actually attack into this Cramorant with the Teal Mask Ogerpon. So Teal Mask Ogerpon could do it. You know, it could do 120 damage for 3. Not sure that I like getting rid of the Switch Cart, because I feel like Teal Mask Ogerpon is like your guarantee to take a knockout this turn. So actually, I think I would have preferred to see Holden just kind of commit to attacking with the Teal Mask Ogerpon. Because that way you don't have any risk of whiffing, right? You've got the Vessel in hand, you've got the Retrieval in hand. Go get 2 Grass Energy, you could draw 2 cards. But now, without that Switch card, I mean, this Raging Bolt could just be stuck in the active if Holden does not find Asada. That's the really dangerous thing about what's going on here. So we could even see, I mean, Holden did discard both energy off the active, kind of anticipating it getting knocked out, and then it didn't get knocked out. So just a really weird spot. So here's a Teal Dance. Draw 1. Yep, another Grass, another Teal Dance, another Energy. Right, and then it's like, well, what are we going to do here? We're going to Burst Roar? You can't Burst Roar. You got 2 Retrieval in your hand. So yeah, like I said, I would have loved to see Holden keep the Switch Cart so that attacking with the Ogerpon was an option. I don't think that Holden can realistically Burst Roar this hand and still, I mean, here we go. 3 Retrieval. I mean, just absolutely gross, right? 3 Retrieval getting Burst Roared away. 3. So many resources gone at this point. Holden has not played Asada's Vitality yet this game. Just brutal. Absolutely brutal. You know, it's taken 1 prize in 3 turns with the Raging Bolt deck. Not where you want to be by any means. A couple of decisions here along the way that I would like Holden maybe have a second look at if he comes back and watches this VOD. And this should be just smooth sailing here for Anthony. You can now just spit innocently for the knockout. 3-hit KO on the Raging Bolt, but not a problem, considering Holden did not pressure at all last turn. And now the Teal Mask Ogerpon gets the send, and I think that makes sense, as it can just take this knockout with three grass energy attached. Another Earthen Vessel. I mean, we got to be running low on energy. Is that 0? Oh, God. Oh, things are worse than I had thought, chatters. There's not a single energy in the deck. All 3 of those energy retrieval just got discarded last turn. Uh-oh. This is bad. I don't think the Holden has an out. I don't think that Holden has the resources to be able to make this game work. I mean, Nestball, what can we even get? There's nothing. Unfortunately. Even if you use Sada's Vitality, you can't get enough energy onto a Raging Bolt over the course of a couple turns. I think this is a scooping board state. Oh no, Holden, oh no. We are too far in with too little done. 1 prize card taken. Too many resources. Too many resources gone. Did find a Sada's Vitality, but I mean, it just can't accelerate enough energy over the course of this turn. I mean, we get 2 energy back, but with no energy to attach from hand, it's just very unfortunate. 3 more cards off the top. Yeah, Trekking Shoes, not the card you want to play right now. Really, what do we do from here? I think Anthony just kind of has the game completely under his control at this point. Which is funny, considering he's really only just attacked with the Cramorant 3 times. I think a Lost Vacuum. And is maybe considering sending the escape board. The rescue board, excuse me, to the Lost Zone. You know, thanks Skags for that Prime sub in the 4 months. Appreciate the support. Thank you. And you know, if it's me, I got no shame in scooping up my cards when I'm in a moment like this. Yeah, and at this point, Anthony is not even going to play any cards, just going to say spit innocently. And Holden is wearing that deck down. I mean, 6 cards left in deck. Pokegear, we should find another Sada here. And there it is. There's a Pokegear or a Palpad in there. And a Pokegear, but Palpad could shuffle a couple supporters back into the deck. I mean, at this point, sure, Holden is going to have back-to-back Sada, and then we'll actually be able to perform an attack this turn. Sada recovering 2 energy a turn, one at a time to 2 different Raging Bolt, but Raging Bolt has to discard energy every time it attacks. And there is the Pal Pad. Holden does have Prime Catcher too, so maybe we see a Prime Catcher knock out the Pheasantipity situation. Yep. Okay, I mean, okay, sure. Here we go. All right, that's a 2-prize take. Palpad could put the Sada back into the deck, maybe an Iono back into the deck. Anthony does have Roxanne in the discard pile though, or in the lost zone, I should say. So really, not too much concern. And then Holden has to let go of 3 energy. Finds an energy retrieval. Okay, we're alive, folks. There's energy retrieval number 4. Off of the prize cards. Anthony getting Regigigas there off of Hisuian Heavy Ball. Boss's Orders going to bring back up that damaged Teal Mask Ogerpon. Flower selecting. Letting the 4th Comfy go. I expect we'll see yet another Spit Innocently for knockouts. Cramorant really going the distance here. Anthony playing that extra energy down just to give the Comfy an easy pivot next turn. Anthony had just 2 prize cards remaining. We know that he's got that Blood Moon Ursaluna in his hand that he's kind of been sitting on the entire game. And Holden's only got a couple cards left in deck. Shoo. Palpad. Probably you want to put Iono back into the deck. I mean, all right, so Holden's got to put Iono back into the deck. And then has to draw into it. Drawing into it's not a problem because you got the Pheasantipity right there. And you got to send this big fat hand to the bottom of the deck. And then hope that Anthony draws absolutely nothing. There we go. The 4th energy retrieval. And a pair of grass energy come out. Okay. This could be the turn. We see the attack with the Teal Mask. Which I think kind of makes the most sense. Teal Dance, draw of 1. And then the Pokegear does just guarantee the Iono. So you could attach the active, gear, guarantee Iono, send the hand to the bottom of the deck. Or you can Pheasantipity. I mean, that's another thing. Also an option. Flip the script. And I guess Holden wants to thin a couple of cards, maybe before sending his deck to the bottom. It's just a gear, an Iono, and a Sada. That's it. Flip the script. We'll draw the entire deck. Attach for turn, and then I imagine it's going to be Iono. Yes. Now Holden has his entire deck in his hand at this point, so I'm going to shuffle that up. And then we'll get 3 of those cards right back. Anthony, on the other hand, has a huge hand, which we know the Blood Moon Ursaluna was in that hand, going to the bottom of the deck. Anthony will get 2 cards. Looks like a switch and an energy. Definitely good draws. And then Holden can take the knockout with Myriad Leaf Shower. We'll do 120 damage. Does 30 damage plus 30 more damage for each energy attached to both Teal Mask and the defending Pokemon. Is it both Pokemon or is it just Teal Mask? I haven't Myriad Leaf Showered enough. I'm gonna look that up. It is both, isn't it? Dang, man, power creep is crazy. Power creep is crazy. It's both, isn't it? Dang. Back in the day, that attack would have been powerful enough to build a deck around. Here we go. Got flower selecting. Find the Colress Experiment. Colress's Experiment. We got Pikachu. Do see Pikachu there. And Gate and Switch. I mean, that really should just do it, right? Got Lightning, Rod, Gate, Lightning Energy in hand. Yeah, Rod those energy back into the deck. Yo, thanks, Aaron, for that sub in the 69 months. Appreciate you, Aaron. Yo, Aaron, how excited are you on a rating of 1 to 10? How excited are you to make your Tricky Hideout video debut in my upcoming video? All right, and Anthony's going to take it. GG's. Anthony taking round 1, continuing his undefeated dominance from last week's Gym Leader Challenge. He went 5-0 at last week's 32-player Gym Leader Challenge events and continues that streak with a round 1 win here tonight at the Full Grip Games Standard Weekly. Congrats to Anthony. GG's to Holden. Nice to see Holden playing in Standard for sure. We got Jesse Parker in the house tonight. I'm going to be doing some post-rotation standard testing with Jesse next week, but ended up having a doctor's appointment this morning, so didn't get to test with him this morning on stream. But that's okay. I had some video editing I had to get done anyways. Jesse will be here next Wednesday, though. We've also got our Journey Together pre-release, midnight pre-release happening next Wednesday, or next Friday night, next Friday night at midnight. Journey Together midnight pre-release happening here. Unlike what we usually do, I'm actually going to be streaming Full Grips pre-release. I'm not just going to be doing like Heather and I's build and battle up here by ourselves. Like, I'm actually going to be streaming the pre-release at Full Grip Games this time. So that's what we got going on. That's next Friday night at midnight. I just posted their updated stream schedule on the Tricky Gym Discord. So excited about that as well. I also just got reached out to by a Pokemon TCG player from China. And if you guys know, China has their own Sun and Moon on like card pull right now in simplified Chinese. But they've been catching up in like leaps and bounds, right? They started simplified Chinese. They started simplified Chinese like at Sun and Moon, because apparently they love Sun and Moon in China. That's just apparently they do. And then they've been kind of like releasing these gigantic sets and kind of like speed running the simplified Chinese format through the Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield blocks. And now apparently they just got their first Scarlet and Violet block or Scarlet and Violet set as well. So they're catching up like really fast. But anyways, in simplified Chinese, they only have Sun and Moon on cards. So I just got reached out to by a player from China who's interested in spreading Gym Leader Challenge to the simplified Chinese player base, but wanted some advice in promoting the format as a Sun and Moon On format, because in simplified Chinese there are no black and white or X and Y cards, so you would have to do Sun and Moon On. So that was cool. So excited to hear that players in China are interested in playing Gym Leader Challenge. That was really, really sweet to hear. Thank you, Crabcore, for that Prime sub in 7 months. I appreciate it. Thanks, Crabcore. Appreciate these supports. And thank you guys all for being here, hanging out with us as we play some Standard tonight. Looks like our round number 2 is going to be getting underway here shortly, as we got Michael Zealy here kind of getting these players set up. Awesome. Yes, round number 2 is upon us, chatters. Let's go. Let's freaking go. God, I want to be done with this. I want to be done with my tricky hideout video so bad. It's so close to being done. I honestly just want to sit my butt down and just edit it until it's done. But it's not quite done yet. I really want to finish it tomorrow, but if there's one thing that I've found out is that I just don't know how long things take when it comes to video editing. I have no idea. Like, I could be like, yeah, I don't know. I've got like, I've got like 10 more minutes of video to edit, like 10 more minutes of like content, right? So that means maybe I shrink 30 minutes down to 10 more minutes of content, right? Like maybe, I don't know, like how long could that take? 3 days? I don't know. It takes, it's just, yeah, I have no idea. So like, I just have no idea. Realistically, I have no idea how long it's going to take me to finish the video. I thought I was going to be able to get it done today, and that just proved to be very false. So now I don't know. And part of it is that I'm just too creative for my own good, because I'll like get into it and then I'm like, oh, I should do this. I'm like, oh, this would be like a funny bit. I should edit this up. And like, I know how to edit it, so like the only thing stopping me from doing like a funny edit is time, and I'm like, who cares? We've got time. Let's do it. So, and then 5 funny bits later, you're like, you're multiple days into editing a video. But I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to have that attitude towards the videos, though. It's fun and it's refreshing, and I'm excited to have a channel where I'm kind of releasing all very similar style videos as well, so that like if anybody likes that kind of video, they could find my channel and just kind of, if you wanted to binge them out, like you just could, because it would be a like kind of a familiar vibe. Like every video would have a similar kind of familiar and fun vibe to it. All right, here we go. Round number 2. We've got a Slitherwing versus a Badoo. All right, very cool. And we've got 2 players here. Looks like Bravery Charm. Is that Ben Peacock? Is that really Ben Peacock? That's not Ben Peacock. Oh, I'm looking at old text from Heather. Okay, thank God. I was gonna say, I accidentally scrolled. Heather texted me the player names every round, and I'm like, dude, that is not Ben Peacock down there. We've got Jordan Wilson on the left versus Kyle Dawson on the right. Let's go. We got 18 players in the house tonight. That means we've got $100 store credit going to the winner. $100. 100 Full Grip Games dollars. 100 store credit to the winner tonight. And then we've got $70 going to second place. And then top 4 gets $50 store credit. In other exciting news, you know, the Full Grip Games Journey Together doubleheader that I've been talking to you guys about for the last couple weeks. Well, Standard is sold out, chatters. That's right. Standard has capped. That means for our Journey Together doubleheader happening at the end of March, the post-rotation release weekend $3,000 cash standard event has capped at 140 players. 140 players, chatters. 140. Our event hall is going to be filled. I'm so excited. Riley and I are going to be casting that event on both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is the Journey Together post-rotation standard event, $3,000 cash for top finishers. And then Sunday is the Journey Together $1,000 cash Gym Leader Challenge event. That event has over 100 players signed up so far, but has not capped yet. Looks like Jordan is playing Slow King. All right, so we've got Slow King versus Raging Bolt. It's got to be the Area Zero Underdepths Raging Bolt. I am imagining with the Fan Rotom and the Noctowl. But that Badoo item lock, pretty nasty. Bravery Charm going to go to the Hoothoot, and the reason that Bravery Charm is going to the Hooter is because the Slowking deck just tries to loop Kyurem to do 110 damage to 3 things over and over again. So the Hoot Mirage Dre says no one calls Hooter. That's just simply not true. That's not true. I call Hooter. Does anyone else call Hooters? I can't help myself. I cannot help myself. You're telling me that you've never buddy poffined for a pair of Hooters? Are you telling me you've never buddy poffined for a pair of Hooters? That's crazy. Slurping over on YouTube says, do I see myself attending any events in the future? You miss my vlogs. I am not grinding for Worlds anymore. I spent over a decade of my life doing that, and I am investing my time and energy into other endeavors now, like trying to create the best YouTube videos I possibly can and taking care of my family. I'm going to NAIC this year, but I will not regularly be attending events. No. All right, here's the Slow King. All right. Slow King. Now this is a treat. Slow King has this attack, Seek Inspiration. I love seeking inspiration. Discard the top card of your deck, and if that card is a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, choose one of its attacks and use it as this attack. So the idea of this deck is to item lock with Badoo until you're ready to seek inspiration with Slowking. And then if you seek inspiration with Slowking, then you want to like discard a broken Pokemon's attack, or discard a broken Pokemon like Kyurem and use its attack for just 2 energy. I guess that's what we're trying to do. Ooh, and the Slitherwing milling the top card. Okay, discarding the Kyurem. That's kind of funny. I'm sure Jordan would have preferred to have that Slowking or have that Kyurem in the hand so that then he could use the Academy at Night and stack it on top of the deck, right? Cargomatic on Twitch asking, if I win NAIC, will I go to Worlds? Well, yeah. I mean, sure. I'm not grinding for Worlds anymore. That doesn't mean I am boycotting Worlds. Like, if I happen to miraculously find myself qualified for Worlds, sure, I'll go. Why not? But, like, I'm not grinding for a Worlds invite anymore. I'm retired from that lifestyle. Yes. But if I ever like, you know, win a regionals, then if I win another regionals, then sure, yeah, I'll go to Worlds, sure. Does winning a regional automatically get you a qualifier, right? Or is it like first or second at Nats? I don't remember anymore. I'm pretty sure winning the regional is an auto qualifier now. It's top 4 at IC, first at regional. Yep. All right, Noctowl. But there's no... Oh, all you need to have is a Terra Pokemon play. You don't need the stadium. That's right. All right, so Noctowl. Let's go. Noctowl. Going to use that Jewel Seeker ability, which you can only use if you have a Terra Pokemon in play. Teal Mask Ogerpon is a Terra Pokemon. So, we've got that box checked. And Kyle's going to get to search for 2 trainer cards. Put them into his hand. We've got Area Zero Underdepths and Crispin. First up, Area Zero Underdepths. Second up, Crispin. I still, you know, we don't exactly have a barn burner going on here, folks. This has been a very calculated back and forth. Also, what's Slitherwing week 2? Psychic? That's crazy. I definitely would have guessed grass, but I guess so. All right, with Area Zero Underdepths, Kyle can bench out. We've got Pheasantipity EX going down. Another Teal Mask Ogerpon, sure. And are we just going to continue milling, or are we actually going to take a knockout? Holy smokes, we took the knockout. All right, Slitherwing takes the KO, 90 damage to itself, hangs on because of the Bravery Charm. And what will Jordan do? We've got Ultra Ball, can discard a Psychic Energy. And we've got Night Stretcher in hand. Got another Academy at Night in hand. Gonna discard Psychic and Kyurem. And it looks like Xatu is getting grabbed. Xatu's got the Clairvoyant Sense ability, which allows you to attach a Psychic Energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. And draw 2 cards. Okay, first up, Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking. Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking perfect supporter to play right now. Allows you to stack your deck and put 2 cards of choice on top. So in that way, Jordan can attach an energy to that Slowking with Clairvoyant Sense, draw into the 2 cards that he stacks with the Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, then just needs to figure out how to get, I don't know, a Pokemon worth copying, probably just the Kyurem. I think that's all you do with the Slowking deck is just Kyurem over and over and over again. Like, is there, correct me if I'm wrong, chatters, is there an attack that this deck tries to do other than just Kyurem over and over again? I'm pretty sure it is just a Kyurem deck. There's an Annihilate. Okay. Apparently an Annihilate. Clairvoyant Sense. We got Night Stretcher for Kyurem. And Regigigas. Okay, cool. Academy at Night. But then Kyle could discard, you know, can discard his liabilities when the Academy at Night is put into play. And then Slowking is going to seek some inspiration, finds the Kyurem that was just stacked on top of the deck, and then is going to copy the Kyurem's attack to do 110 damage to 3 different things, but cannot target the Teal Mask Ogerpon on the bench. Well, can target the Teal Mask Ogerpon on the bench, but ought not to because the Terra Pokemon cannot be damaged on the bench. So, yeah. So that's a thing. There we go. Slowking knocking out the Slitherwing, and then 110 to both Pheasantipity and Squawkabilly. A little bit sketchy here for Kyle, not going to lie. Having all that damage on those Pokemon EX is certainly a liability, so we'll see. Yeah, those energy got to get discarded 100%. Yeah, here, let me walk you that down. Jordan, you need to discard those energy. Thank you. Very good. Yes. It is not a free Trifrost that the Kyurem provides, the Slowking. Slowking is inspired by the Kyurem and copies the attack word for word. And Kyurem's Trifrost says you have to discard all energy from this Pokemon. So the Slowking, I mean, is the Slowking just stuck up here now? How does this how does it go from here? Slowking's got a retreat cost of 3. So it is not easily pivoting. Ah, jet energies. That's right. Jets. Okay. So jet energy could move this Slowking from the bench into the active spot. But honestly, Jordan's hand does not look great. So all right, we're flipping the script over on Kyle's side of the board. Drawing lots of cards. Jamming Tower. Boy, oh boy. Sawdust Vitality. That's a draw of 3. And things seem to be going just fine over here in Kyle Dawson Town. Raging Bolt taking the knockout on Slowking. I mean, this hand is looking pretty weak over on Jordan's side, right? I mean, it's literally Buddy Buddy Poffin and Night Stretcher, no Pheasantipity or anything like that. Does this deck even play a Pheasantipity? How are you supposed to draw cards? Are you supposed to just be using Clairvoyant Sense? Is that what it is? I don't see a Pheasantipity in that deck, so. Yeah. All right, Clairvoyant Sense. Let's draw 2 cards. Save us 2 cards. All right, there's the Dursky. The Dursky do, huh? All right. Do you just go for it off the top? Or do you... you just go for it, right? Just be like, oh yeah, I'm totally discarding something crazy. Nah, just item lock. Okay, fine. And it looks like Kyle's just going to simply take a knockout on the Badoo. And here comes the king. Nest Ball and Jet Energy. Neither of those cards seem like they're going to be helping Jordan in this position. Unless there's a secret Pheasantipity in that deck that I don't know about, but I don't think that there is. No, in fact, there are no basic Pokemon in that deck. In fact, there are no Pokemon in that deck to even copy. In fact, this deck is doing nothing. Slowking has to Super Psybolt for 120 damage. This is horrible. Oh no. And then Jordan's going to be left with no Slowking. Absolutely nothing. And Kyle is just going to be able to pile energy on his big basic Pokemon and just take knockouts. Knockouts. Knockout. That's it. Night Stretcher off the top. Got to go get Fez. Is there a Fez down there? Going for Badoo instead. And that's a scoop. Oh no, the Slowking deck. No. All right, Kyle taking the win. That is a dub for Raging Bolt. And you see, chat, that right there is why you're just better off playing big basic Pokemon, all right? You try to play your cool single prize deck and you're just gonna get rolled over. All right. Unfortunate. Big basic Pokemon, rule box Pokemon, rule the world. It's 2025. It's sad, but it's true. However, it was cool to see the Slowking deck. It was cool. For sure. The issue though, the thing about I think that game is it's an example of how it's kind of an example of how tough it is to be a single prize deck in the Pokemon TCG right now, right? I know, all right, Feraligatr, but what about my Feraligatr wall deck? Okay, sure, all right, whatever, dude. Sure. But like generally speaking, even if you're multi-prize, even if you're single prize Pokemon, even if you're non-rule box Pokemon, like on paper trades favorably with a rule box deck like Raging Bolt, the thing is that like the Raging Bolt deck just doesn't require anything in order to set up. You don't have to, literally, you don't even have to evolve in the Raging Bolt deck. You know how crazy that is? Like nothing in the Raging Bolt deck has summoning sickness. All of the basic Pokemon can go into play and instantly start attacking. All of them. And then the main attacker has 240 hit points and can one-hit KO anything in the Pokemon TCG. It's quite ridiculous, really. It's kind of insane, right? Whereas like an evolving deck, like the Slowking deck, it's like, okay, well, first I have to find my basics, and then they have to live a turn, and then I have to evolve them up, and then when one gets knocked out, then I have to have the pre-evolution on the bench, ready to go into the active spot, ready to evolve again, and while I'm getting all the stuff I need together to get that guy attacking, I also need to get myself another little Slowpoke on the bench, and it's like chaining attackers is so much more difficult in a deck like that than it is in a deck like Raging Bolt or Miraidon or Charizard even. Like, because Charizard, all you need is like Rare Candy Charizard, and then it goes and gets the energy for you. So has 300, 30 hit points or whatever. Thank you, Case Closed, for that sub in the 39 months. It's just, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough to be a single prize deck in today's world. It just is. It's really tough. Yeah. It's really tough. Really, really tough. It's crazy because, like, I think about like 2017 and like stage 1 decks used to be a thing where you like were attacking with a stage 1 Pokemon that had like 100 hit points. I mean, really, I guess what was the last great stage 1 attacking deck? What's the last great stage 1 attacking deck? Non-rule box. Non-rule box. Don't tell me about Golden. Non-rule box. Non-rule box stage 1 attacking deck. Vespiquen Flareon. Non-rule box stage 1 attacking deck. That's what I'm asking. It was Rapid Strike. It was Rapid Strike. It was Rapid Strike. It was. That wasn't a great deck, but that was the last good one. It was Rapid Strike Malamar. That was it. Yeah. Rapid Strike Malamar was not terrible. Yo, thank you, Jesse, for that Prime sub. Let's go. Appreciate you. Stoked to see you made it out to League tonight, Jesse. You lost round 2. Sad, man. Zorobox was never good. I do hate to rain on people's parade. Check the pick. You want me to check that pick, bro? You want me to... I have to copy the link out of your post. I have to copy it into my browser. Chatters, do you think that the link that Jesse posted, is it going to be worth it? Is this your round 2 hand? Jesse? Well, bro, this is what you get for just playing nothing but Miraidon. You got to move on. Got to put her away, man. 2025, it's a new year. I know you just got the cool looking Iron Hands EX. I know, but no way. I mean, yeah. If I top forward worlds with Miraidon, I might never put it away either. But Case Closed says, I have no idea what to play post rotation. For alligator walls. For alligator walls. For alligator walls. That's what we're all gonna play. Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt. For alligator walls. There's lots of things to play post rotation. Chatters. Lots of things. Look at this. For alligator walls. Yeah, all you do, you get your for alligator, all that crap I was talking about, single prize decks. Yeah. For alligator, he doesn't care about any of that. You set up for alligator, you get Crokinole, and you can use reverse thrust with Relicanth to hit and run, and you hit and run into, I don't know, Melodic or something. Melodic or Mimikyu. There you go. Case closed, wants to play Mamoswine or Incineroar. Gonna have tough luck there. Incineroar is not good. Mamoswine also appears to not be good, but that's only if we're looking at Japan's results. Let's see. What does Mamoswine do again? Do you see why I'm having so much fun with the Tricky Hideout YouTube channel? I'm having so much fun with the Tricky Hideout YouTube channel because I get to purge my brain of standard. I do. I no longer have to think about standard. I can just have fun. Finally, I make my own rules. If I want to play bad cards, so be it. All right, that is very strange. I click on Mamoswine and Baltoy shows up. But anyways, here's Mamoswine. Once during your turn, you can search your deck for a Pokemon, put it into your hand. 180 damage, 340 HP. But the thing is, plus 40 more for each stage 2 Pokemon on your bench. It's so... Yeah, Mamoswine just ain't gonna work, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Raging Bolt can just kill it. And then he takes 2 fighting energy. Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. And then your bench, you have to have just more stage 2 Pokemon on your bench. Weak to grass, loses to Teal Mask. Yeah, terrible, terrible, terrible. Go behind and play 4 Luxray. Sure, you're gonna go behind and you're never gonna come back. You're gonna go behind. You're gonna go behind and then never win. Like, you're gonna go behind and then lose. is how it's gonna work, unfortunately. The thing about standard right now is that, like, everything's just incredibly juiced, right? Like, everything is so juiced up. Everything is so aggressive. Your decks are, if you're not playing a deck that can just, like, conceivably win the game by attacking 3 times, it's like, by attacking 3 times, like, as quickly as possible. Oh, yeah, this new Terra... All right, so towards Terra Box deck. Let's look at this. This is crazy. All right, so this is just a Crispin deck, right? You've got a Crispin deck where you're just using Crispin to accelerate extra energy into play. You've got the Sparkling Crystal. You're just a big basic deck with the Noctowl as support, right? And then you've got Energy Switch as well, so you can Teal Dance and then Energy Switch. This is a cool deck because you've got Clefairy as well, which can one-hit KO dragons. Thank you, Mad Panda, for that sub in the 15 months. I appreciate it. Cherubi Jelly, I actually don't think that things slow down terribly after rotation. Not really. Yeah, Noctowl seems broken for sure. Why are there so many walls now? Question on YouTube. The reason why walls are so good right now is because the format is kind of warping around especially our post-rotation format, seems to be warping around extremely powerful Terra Pokemon, right? So take a look. Like your top decks. This is crazy. Dragapult, Gholdengo, that's crazy. But like, all right, so think about Dragapult. Dragapult is one of like the strongest attackers in Standard. It's a Terra Pokemon. And then you've got Charizard. Extremely strong attacker in Standard. It's a Terra Pokemon. Terapagos, one of the strongest attackers in Standard. It's a Terra Pokemon. Teal Mask, Ogerpon. I mean, just an ever-present threat. It's a Terra Pokemon. Right? We lose all of the Pokemon V. So the format becomes even more warped around Terras. And then the fact that, like, Noctowl is one of the most consistent engines post-rotation as well. So, you know, Noctowl has to be played with Terras. So Terra Pokemon, you know, kind of got it all. They got it all. They're incredible. In a format with no bench barrier, they have built-in bench barrier, you know. They're really freaking good. And so then naturally, if Terra Pokemon are everywhere, decks that counter Terra Pokemon are going to start popping up. That's why you got your, like, your Melodic. Literally just can't be damaged by Terra Pokemon, right? But you could tech your deck to deal. The problem with wall decks is that they're not just forever good. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna play my Melodic wall deck at every single event. Like well, you could be like that, but like if players get hip to you, like Canceling Clone didn't rotate, did it? Does Canceling Clone rotate? Oh, it rotates. All right, maybe you can just play your Melodic. I mean, just play Melodic walls, you know? Please, no play mat on the stream table, please. Thank you. All right. Looks like we've got round 3 coming right up here at the Full Grip Games. League nights. Let's go. Let's go. See what we got going on. Wonderful. Round 3. Getting underway. Guardy's still good post-rotation. People, you know, people could find a way. And then with the new Mega Guardy, I mean, we should all just come together and agree to just play Gator Walls. Every single Standard event should just be a Gator Wall mirror. That's what I'm thinking. How much fun would we have? Just imagine how much fun we would have if we all just played Gator Walls against one another. That's not Kyle Dawson. That's Sean Stevenson. Okay, here we go. Wonderful. These players are set up and ready to go. Sweet. Round number 3 is underway here at Full Grip Games. We've got Caleb Remy on the left versus Sean Stevenson on the right. Looks like Caleb has a Dreepy and pass. This could be a quick one if Sean has the means to knock it out on the first turn of the game. I did see a Lance in Caleb's hand, so Caleb has an out to multiple Dragon Pokemon next turn. But can Sean piece together what he needs in order to deal 70 damage? Just one attack with Vengeance Fletching. Is all it takes. And this game is over. Oh, and there's a Squawkabilly? Oh, yeah, dude. This is like a Roaring Moon EX deck. Really? So here comes the Squawk. Oh, boy. And with Pecharunt EX in the active spots, it'll be very easy for Sean to move a bench Pokemon into the active with that Subjugating Chains ability. I don't think it's correct to attach an energy. Yeah, you just squawk that. Squawk it. Boom. Discarded. Draw 6. Let's go. Do we find Sada? All we need is one Sada's Vitality, and this game is over. Here's Radiant Greninja. Play the Earthen Vessel. Earthen Vessel. Discard the Darkness Energy. Thin the deck. Looking for a Sada's Vitality. Concealed cards. We'll get to dig 2 cards deeper. Dark Patch would also do it. It's true. Sean just has to deal 70 damage. Ultra Ball. Gonna thin this thing even further. Oh, there are plenty of Dark Patch in there too. Luminion. Oh, this is it. Luminous Sign. This game is over, dude. Luminous Sign. Sada's Vitality. Sada to the Roaring Moon. Bam. Blammo. That is a roasted Dreepy. Sada's Vitality. Blam. Draw 3. Darkness. To the moon. Subjugating Chains. Bam! And that is a 1-turn win. Sean Stevenson advancing to 3-0 here at the Full Grip Games League Night. That'll do it. Roaring Moon, baby. Roaring Moon. Let's go. Roaring Moon. Oh, yeah. Well, that was a quick round 3. Luckily, we've got plenty to talk about. So let's go. Let's keep talking, chatters. Post-rotation, we've got new cards to talk about as well that I haven't talked about yet. Let's just, let's just take a look at everything that we got to talk about, because we got a lot to talk about. You know, I'm not streaming every weekday anymore. So listen, there's so much to catch up on. So much. So let's catch up. Here we go. You know, the YouTube chatters they deserve a space too. Here we go. Wow. There you go, YouTube. See? I love both my chats equally. There we are. Have I played any Pocket with Triumphant Light? No. I actually have not played Pokemon TCG Pocket since... I have not opened the application since I said I wouldn't be streaming with it anymore. Which I'm somewhat surprised by, but then I'm also kind of not. I'm like, dang, dude, like, I guess I didn't love it like that. That's fine. I'm really boiling everything down. I'm boiling my life down and just doing the things that I want to do. Like I'm doing the things that I am like passionate about. Doesn't love Discord chat. I don't love social media. Did I even play Space Time Smackdown? No. Not really. I played the Weavile deck. I played on Space Time. I played Release Day. I played the Weavile deck on Release Day. I played some of the Magnezone Darkrai deck. I actually kind of liked the Magnezone Darkrai deck. I felt like I was like kicking people's butt with that. But then, like, now that I'm kind of into like the Pocket cycle and I kind of understand it, like, I'm just kind of over it, you know? Like, I'm kind of over Pocket, which is crazy, but it's just a mobile game. I don't love mobile games. I don't, you know? I don't love mobile games. So that's not like, it's not my thing, you know? When you really think about it, Pocket, I mean, I love the visuals of Pocket. I really like looking at the cards that they made and kind of reading them. I feel like that's kind of fun. But like, I just don't love mobile games like that. I kind of had this moment of clarity where I was like, I only have especially with a kid now, right? Like now that I have a kid, it's like, okay, I've only got so much time to invest myself into certain things. And I certainly only have so much money to invest myself into certain things. So it's like, okay, well, you know, is Pocket something that, like, do I want to be a Pokemon TCG Pocket creator? I felt like, and I was like, no, I don't think the answer is yes. So I'm like, okay, well, then I'll just leave it behind. It was this weird position where it's like, okay, if I create Pocket content, it'll be the most popular content on my channel, right? Even if I'm just doing it 50% effort, even if I'm just crapping out Pocket videos, Pocket will be the most popular videos that I release. And it's like, that's crazy. So then does that make me a Pocket streamer? Like, does that make me a Pocket YouTuber? That's not, and it's like, that's not where I want to be. That's not really what I want to do. So then, yeah, and it kind of was like the same thing as TCG Live. It's like, I don't really want to be a TCG Live streamer. I don't really want to be a TCG Live creator. So like, if you were to ask me like, okay, well, what am I creating? Okay, I'm working on this video right now. I'm working on this video right now for the Tricky Hideout YouTube channel that I think is like truly creative. And I don't think that there's any other video on YouTube that's like quite like it. That gets me really excited. So I don't know, if you were to ask me like, what's my goals for like the next year as far as content goes, I want to break my YouTube. I want to like break my YouTube view record with a video that I'm really proud of. Like, if that makes sense. I want my most watched YouTube video to be a video that I really like and not just a video about a mobile game that I don't even play anymore. So So yeah, I'm trying to work really hard on the stuff that I'm passionate about. Though it's an uphill battle. I mean, it's not easy. There's a reason why that this path that I'm kind of, forging ahead on is a path less trodden, and it's because it's harder to make that kind of stuff and be successful doing it. So, but I do think that I'm in a really unique position because of my connection with Full Grip Games, that I feel like I could start creating YouTube content that feels kind of more like card shop lifestyle content, where it's like personality driven and it's kind of just about the culture of living in a card store, which is essentially what I do. I live and operate in a card store. And I feel like when I'm just logging in and playing TCG Live or logging in and playing TCG Pocket, I feel like part of what makes this channel so unique, I'm just kind of like leaving that at the door. Whereas like I really want to kind of hone in on what makes this channel unique. So, so for like the Tricky Gym main channel, the next videos that I want to make, future format videos about like the Enzorark deck, about the Iono's Belly Bolt deck, about the Hops deck. I want to make future format videos about those decks. Ideally, I would make those videos before they release on TCG Live, right? So that I have content out there for when people, get their hands on the new cards on TCG Live, they'll be able to look up, and my videos will already be there for them to get ideas from. I'm going to do set reviews, and release those on YouTube as well. So I want to do a Journey Together set review where I talk about all the best cards in Journey Together in like one place on YouTube, do a set review. And then for Hideout, I don't know the frequency. The thing about Hideout is that I have to really stay on it. Like I have to stay on it and stay committed to like doing the videos that I'm doing on Hideout. I really want to get together a collection of like 20 to 30 videos like quickly, like within the next year or two. I want there to be like 20 to 30 videos on Hideout that all kind of feel like they are unified by a singular theme, and that somebody could stumble upon the Hideout YouTube channel 10 years from now and be like, dang, this content's gas, and like binge the whole thing. Like in 10 years, they could find it and be like, dang, that's crazy. Like, that's really cool. And you could be a fan of like Pokemon, or be a fan of like tabletop gaming, or just, even just nerd culture, and you could like find the Hideout channel, and then you would think that those videos were interesting and worth watching. That's kind of like the mission statement of the Hideout channel, is that it's like a casual, fun, personality driven tabletop gaming channel that is not beleaguered by formats. That's the thing. That's like kind of the crux of the Tricky Hideout channels. Like, we're not thinking about formats. You're actually not really even allowed to mention formats. That's like kind of an unspoken rule, is like, if you start talking about standard on the Hideout channel, I'm going to cut it out. You're not allowed to talk about standard. You're not allowed to talk about Gym Leader Challenge. You're not allowed to talk about formats. You're not allowed to talk about that crap. Like, you leave all that at the door, right? That's what the Hideout is. So like, so that's been fun. That's been fun for sure. Because it really just kind of boils down to the joy of playing the trading card game, right? Like, and that's something that, you get a little disillusioned after having done something for so long, after kind of sweated it out and competed in something for so long. It's easy to get kind of like jaded and disillusioned, and just like, it's easy to stop having fun. You've been doing it for so long. It's like, it's easy, right? So like, Hideout is a way for me to kind of like find the joy again, right? Like, what do I love about playing cards? What do I love about tabletop gaming? What do I think other people will connect with when it comes to that? Not just like content about how to win tournaments and do all that. Like, I feel like I've spent a significant chunk of my life creating content in that avenue, and there's lots of people out there qualified to create that content right now. But I feel like there's not a lot of people that have the means to create the kind of stuff that I want, that I am dreaming of making on it. So like, I'm going to just invest myself into that. And the thing is, and for Hizzle, I think it's a good point, right? As long as it creates enough income for me to focus all my time, right? Income. I mean, yeah, it's a huge, it's a huge pay cut, right? I'm, not doing the digital games, not streaming 5 days a week, but it's been incredible for my mental health, and as for like a creative person who just wants to work on projects and create things I'm proud of. I realize now that the amount of time that I'm putting into like these videos that I'm working on right now, I realize that with my previous schedule, there was absolutely no way for me to ever bring them into reality. So like, I just needed to give myself the time to create the videos that I want to make. And for me right now, for like the next couple of years, that prospect seems really exciting. I could say one of my goals as a creator would be like, I would love to make a YouTube video that has 1 million views. But not just like, I would love to make a YouTube video that gets 1 million views, but not from just like trend hopping, or like just trying to like do something like that. I would love to make a video that gets 1 million views. Not that views matter, but like, you got to have goals, right? I would love to make a video that gets 1 million views and is something that I was passionate about making. That would be like the perfect kind of. But honestly, if the videos just do like well, and I would say, if these videos that I spend like an exorbitant amount of time working on get between like 50 and 100,000 views, like that's cool. That's great. It's 50 to 100,000 people that enjoyed the content. Like that's freaking sick. So like that would be really hype. If they just have like a consistent good audience, then that's fine. Honestly, I felt kind of lost on Tricky Jim as to like what we, like where I was going or what I was going to be doing or like what my niche was. And now I'm just really excited about these next projects, and streaming the weekly tournaments is like a way for me to kind of still stay involved with Standard and Gym Leader Challenge and all of that, because like on Hideout, I'm not talking about formats. We're just goofing around and doing whatever. So like, this is a way for me to like stay dialed into what's happening in Standard and Gym Leader Challenge and like, and in the community and all that. And it's a cool way to connect with Full Grip Games and show off local talent. And I'm really excited about the big tournaments that we're doing, the set releases as well. So I don't know, man. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. My hope is that a few years down the line, I'll look back at this like kind of weird transitional time and I'll be like, dang, dude, that was like the best decision that I made. Like, look at all these like really cool projects that I was able to make on, look at all these really cool projects I was able to kind of bring to fruition because of the switch up. But then I also think that there's a certain amount of like, it takes a certain kind of person to be able to spend so much time live, right? Like so much time live. And I think I think the concept of like waking up every day and going live for like 4 or 5 hours a day, that might have like, I don't know, that might have done some serious damage to my brain over the course of like 5 or 6 years. I don't know. I'm still not sure what kind of like effect that's had on me long term, but we'll see. But I think I did figure out that I could not do that forever. Thank you, Kyle, for that tier 3 sub. I really appreciate you, Kyle. Thank you. And yeah, I certainly wasn't passionate about TCG Live. I'm not even, I never really have been passionate about the digital games myself. I always kind of like just used them as a means to an end to grind for tournaments, right? I kind of saw them as like a testing ground for tournaments. It's kind of what I've always thought of them as that. So now that I'm not like grinding for worlds, there really wasn't a narrative there anymore. Yeah, I appreciate that, Kyle, though. Thank you. How many rounds league? League's 5 rounds tonight. Texas Wargamer wants to know, question about the Gator deck. Does it just use Feraligatr to generate Monkey Dory damage, or is it an active striker? Yeah, the Feraligatr, well, you attack with the Feraligatr, so you use Torrential Heart. You put 5 damage counters on yourself, and it makes you do 120 more damage. That's ridiculous. All right, so then you do 120 more damage plus the 30. So you're using Reverse Thrust with Feraligatr. So you use Feraligatr, you boost 120 plus 30 because you're using Reverse Thrust, and you can do that with the Relicanth because Relicanth lets you use any of your pre-evolution's attacks. So you use Feraligatr's ability, but you're using Crocodile's attack, and then since you put 5 damage counters on yourself, you can use Monkey Dory to move those, and then so you could technically like hit and run for 180. It's kind of ridiculous. And then Totodile, right? You can trap a Totodile too, right? Can't retreat. So yeah. So you got these various options available. Thank you, Nelson TCG, for that Prime sub in the 9 months. Thank you. But it's crazy thinking about like yeah, I mean like this video, right? The crazy thing about YouTube is that subscriber count doesn't matter at all. That's like the crazy thing now. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. It's like for a long time, subscriber count meant something. Now it's just a number. It's a meaningless number now, right? Like this tabletop video has 58,000 views on a channel that had 200 subscribers when I released it. Right? But then like Tricky Jim has 130,000 subscribers. I don't know, last time I released a video with 58,000 views. I mean, it was this one, the Pocket video, right? Because Pocket is like, am I just going to be a Pocket streamer now? Like, it's all the Pocket stuff. The Pocket stuff got big. But like, other than that, I haven't released... It was the Charizard video 5 months ago has 59,000 views. Just do Pocket stuff and make the bag? No. How about no? I don't want to. Okay, here's the thing, nobody move. Like, here's the thing. Is I got into creating content because I didn't want to work a normal job. I wanted to just have fun doing the stuff that I liked doing, right? Right? So like the thing about creating content is that people can sense if you don't like it. It gets to the point where like that'll come through. You're always going to make better stuff if you love it. If you love the stuff you're making, it's going to be better, right? It's about the lifestyle, right? Like the lifestyle choices is it's not like anyways. Terminally allergic to the bag, but for the better. Yeah, you know, it's like telling a music. All right, what if you told a musician that they should just like what if you know a really talented musician? They make great music, but they don't necessarily make the kind of pop music that you would hear in like a strip mall or in a restaurant or something. They make like more obscure alternative style music, and it's really, really, really good, right? But like, what if you just told your musician friend, like, bro, just crank out some pop songs, bro. Get the bag, like. Just get the bag, dude. Just write some generic pop BS. Like, dude, screw your artistic endeavors. Just get the bag. Like, you understand as a creative person, that's not what any creative person wants to spend their life doing. Now the pocket hype will all fade eventually. I don't think the pocket's necessarily like super long term. And if it is long term, it's not long term what I want to do. So I'm at peace with leaving that behind. I think it's evidenced by, dude, I haven't created pocket content in like over a month. I also haven't opened Pocket in over a month. If that doesn't tell you, like that kind of, I haven't been opening Pocket because I've kind of just been curious, like, do I even want to play Pocket? Like independently of content, do I even want to play that? And the answer was no. So I think that kind of just told me everything I needed to know, right? I was like, dang, that's nuts. You know what other client I haven't opened in months? TCG Live. I have not played a single game of TCG Live. I've not played a single game of Pocket in like 2 months. It's been crazy. Big Mike Basil says, get the bag, then live off that doing what you want. See, that's not how content works. There's not a nut, like, that's not how. The crazy thing is that, like, especially in like the Pokemon TCG sphere, there's not enough. You're not making millions, dude. You're not making millions. You're like barely making 6 figures. Like maybe if you're like one of the best. So like it's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get rich making Pocket content, and then like no, that's just not how it's gonna go, you know. So yeah. I just want to, like, you got, for better or for worse, guys, for better or for worse, I'm a creative person with creative ambition. I'm not the type to just settle doing what everybody else is doing. For better or for worse, that's just not the kind of person that I am. So, see, Kyle in the Twitch chat, Kyle really has it. The bag worth chasing is not the one with the money in it. It's the one with the best vibes. See, now that's worth chewing on, right? That's worth chewing on right there. %100. All right, round number 4, the Full Grip Games League Nights. We've got Anthony Saya on the left versus Sean Stevenson on the right. Anthony playing that Lost Box deck. Sean, we just saw lost last round. Ah! Zeely jump scare. Sean was able to put a swift end to Caleb's run there last round. Unfortunate for Caleb. Great for Sean. Turn 1 win. Not going to get so lucky against Anthony, though. Seems to be setting up just fine with his Lost Box deck going first. Got a great-looking hand. Nest balls. Has to choose between the board, or Colress and a board, yes. Opts to keep the Colress. I think that makes sense. And then switch carts. Flower selecting. Yup, got plenty of balls in that hand, so going to go with the gate and then attach retreat, get a third flower select going. 3 cards into the lost zone, turn 1, going first, feels good, has to choose between Pikachu and a Jets. Saying, do I need Pikachu for this matchup? No. And then it's just going to pass turn to Sean. Well, let's see what Sean's got going on. Concealed cards. Draw 2. Pokestop, Dark Patch, Ultra Ball, and Sada all in hand. Going to Ultra Ball, discard Iono, and Pokestop. And here's Roaring Moon EX. Making its way down. Opting to go for Roaring Moon EX, not just the single prize Roaring Moon. Single prize Roaring Moon seems like it'd be a good lead here in this matchup. Stellar Wish Gaming says, I've been needing someone to watch. It puts out a ton of tabletop content. Too many TCG Live and Pocket streams out there. It's so hard, is the thing. It's really difficult to create lots of well-produced tabletop content. It is extraordinarily challenging. By and large, it gets way less viewership than the digital stuff. It's also harder to make. So there's a reason why nobody does it. Yeah, it's expensive to produce, difficult to produce, and less popular. So yeah, it's tough. But again, I'm in a unique position because, kind of all the investment that I did to kind of help get Full Grip to where it's at now is like really paying off, because I've got really, really great stable sponsorships that are going to help me kind of carry through this transition period, and you guys, of course. Okay. Sean's, yeah. Having to get rid of Dark Patch is not ideal. The Ultra Ball there. But now I'm in a position now where it's like, okay, well, my sponsorships kind of pay the lion's share of my salary. So long as whatever I do, like if I only release 4 YouTube videos a month, but they reach a wider audience, if I only release 4 YouTube videos a month, but the work that I put into them allows them to create reach a much wider audience than I'm still doing just as well. Like, I'm doing even better for my sponsors than I was when I was really racking my brain trying to stream 5 days a week or whatever, right? Because like streaming 5 days a week for 25 hours a week, it's like I'm still like, I have a really close knit community of like, a handful of thousand of people that like are really into the streams and watch them all the time. But like, as far as promoting for my sponsors, who are the people who are kind of helping to keep me afloat the most, then it's like I could actually do better by my sponsors if I'm creating YouTube videos that get like a much wider viewership, right? Nah, yeah. Mike asking on Twitch, why not try to independently fundraise to support tabletop content? Nah, it's just that's not sustainable, right? I'm always chasing, like, I'm looking for something that I can do reliably, week in, week out. This is my career, right? How do I create, a reliable experience for, how do I create a reliable content to advertise for my for my sponsors and stuff. YouTube has a much wider audience than like Twitch streams and stuff. So JW says, hear me out, a Pokemon card morning show. All right, bud, do you want to fund it? Want to move to Akron? Of course, it could exist. Of course it could. Yeah, thanks for that sub, JW. Gotta commit, though. That could exist. So right now, I'm kind of at a point right now where I'm kind of upset that I've spent so much time creating YouTube content, but none of it is, like, very little of the 1,500 videos that I've released on YouTube. Very few of them are evergreen, and so many of them have a shelf life and are like already expired, right? So for the next 10 years, because I've been creating content, not for 10 years, but I've been playing Pokemon cards for over 10 years now. For the next 10 years, I want to create content that is more evergreen. I want to make YouTube videos that people would be happy to watch in 5 years. If you're just creating content about standard format, you're creating content for the same 15, 20,000 people, and then it's got a shelf life and nobody wants to watch it in 6 months. So it's I'm excited to produce stuff that I feel like will be watchable in years down the road. All right, Anthony is I appreciate that. Trust no one, die alone. Thanks for the encouragement. Thank you. It's been tough out here, switching things up. But I'm really excited about it. I am. I know it's like, and it's not going to be, I know right now it's a lot of me just like kind of talking about what the future is going to hold and what I'm aiming to do. That kind of comes with the territory of me being a daily streamer for like, I don't know, 5 years, and then like switching it up. So I know that that's like kind of a thing that I'm just working through right now, but it'll eventually get to the point where it's like I'm not having to rehash what I used to do and what I'm going to be doing every single week. It's eventually going to get to the point where it all just makes sense. We're bringing the vision to reality. For sure. I've been thinking about like how many videos do I want to release a month on. How many videos do I want to try and aim to release a month on Tricky Gym main channel? How many videos do I want to try and release a month on the Tricky Gym Hideout YouTube channel? You know, I'm aiming for 3 streams a week. I got a GLC stream scheduled with Ben Morse on Friday. And that's like my 2 league streams, and then I'm doing, like, I try to have 1 guest a week on. All right, so Butt Surfer 93 on YouTube. Yes, I said most of my content was not evergreen. Vlogs are always evergreen. But most of the YouTube content I was making, I said of the 1,600 videos that exist on Tricky Gym, 90% of them, 95% of them are probably not worth watching anymore because they're like super out of date, right? I'm talking about metas that don't exist anymore. I'm talking about formats that are long past and that nobody's playing, right? I'm talking about decks that are not relevant anymore, right? You understand? So like, yeah. As a creative person, like that's kind of sad for me. I spent a lot of time working on that stuff, and it amounts to basically a pile of nothing. You see how disheartening that is? Now, that's not to say that there aren't Tricky Gym videos that I'm really, really, really proud of. Of course there are. Like all of my vlogs. All of my vlogs I'm very proud of. They're very cool. And I love looking back at those. Those are some of the most rewatchable videos that I've ever made. I'll probably cherish the Tokyo, the 2023 Worlds vlog will probably be one of my most cherished videos that I ever release ever. Probably. And the Brazil one too. Those will probably be some of my favorite videos I ever make. You know, I've made some videos on Tricky Gym that I'm extremely proud of. But I think that there's a way for me to strike a balance where I'm creating more stuff that is just more fun, right? That's the aim. I want to create content that's more fun. Fun in a way that anyone could watch it at any time. Right? Yeah, thanks, Monty, on YouTube. Yeah, the Brazil video is one of my favorite videos I've ever made, too. And honestly, the bulk battle video I made with Heather, I love that video. That video was so fun to make. And it's really rewarding because I feel like people are getting to see it, which is something that I was feeling like I was kind of, like I was investing a lot of time and effort into creating videos that people weren't getting, like, which weren't getting as many spins on the Tricky Gym main channel. So it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to create a channel that's all about making this kind of stuff and see what happens. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think about some of my favorite YouTubers. A lot of my favorite YouTubers only release 1 video a month because it's a freaking good video, right? So, like, surely you all have YouTubers that you watch like that, right? where it's like anytime a YouTuber releases a video, you're like, dang, it's gonna be a banger, right? Because like I know what I'm expecting from that YouTuber, right? It's like one video a month, but it's always some heat. And here we go. Yo, thanks Chaos for that sub in the 37 months. Bam. Anthony taking the dub. Will Anthony go back to back? This is what I want to know. Is Anthony going to win Gym Leader Challenge last week and then Standard this week? He is sure on his way. Anthony showing that he is one of the GOATs of Full Grip Games League with these consistent top finishes. He's been doing a great job here at League lately. Exciting to watch for sure. God, this new video I make, I can't wait. I can't wait. And that's the thing. The more videos that I release on Tricky Hideout, I'm like, it's all this that I'm doing right now is just, talk. It's just talk, right? And really, you know, kind of leading up to the first bulk battle video, it was like, okay, it was all just talk. It was a theory. It was just like, I have this idea of the kinds of videos I want to bring into reality. It's just talk. But like the hope is that over the course of the next 6 months, the vision that I have in my head should be much easier for people to grasp onto because it will exist in a form, right? I mean, really, the bulk battle video is kind of like the premise. Think of that as like the pilot. It's like the pilot episode for what? For the kinds of stuff that I imagine myself making. Like I just made a new YouTube channel with 0 subs and said, okay, I'm going to dump, 30 hours into editing this video and boom, and see what happens. Yeah, thank you, Monarch Master, for that sub in the 57 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Mount Badu, I understand if people want to unsub, I get it. I do. Like, I am switching up the way that I'm doing things. Like, I'm very upfront. I'm aiming to stream 3 days a week. That's what I'm doing. And if that Mr. Mount Badu, Natakazam is my wife, and she is mocking people who have that opinion. So maybe not the point you want to go, not the point you want to go with there. I have been very upfront with the fact that like I had kind of run myself ragged. Streaming for 25 hours a week, and got to a point where I kind of felt like I was at my natural conclusion with that. And there were a lot of factors playing into that. Like, obviously, there's Pokemon Trading Card Game Online shut down. We got replaced with TCG Live, right? I have retired from the regional grind now, right? Where I'm not traveling around the world to go to regional championships anymore and things like that and all that. So like this change has been coming for a long time, but like, and I love and am so incredibly thankful for everyone who has subscribed to the channel and helped me be
the content creator that I am over the course of the last 5 years where I was streaming 25 hours a week, right? However, I cannot be held hostage by those people who want me to stay streaming 30, 25 hours a week every single week for their $5, right? As a human myself, I need to take the next step in my career, and I need to go the creative direction that I feel like I'm being, that I see myself going for the next 5 years, right? And thanks Reverend General for that sub, and thank you Spinner Dash. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thank you. And I know what I can offer right now. I can only ever offer as much of myself as I have to give. And right now, with the way that I'm investing myself in creating these videos that I'm passionate about, and the way that I'm investing myself into my family, I have about 3 days a week to offer on stream. That's what I have. 3 days a week. So that's 12 streams a month. If that's not enough for someone to like remain subscribed or whatever, that's okay. That's, everybody's got their own decisions to make. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not gonna, but what I won't have is people trying to guilt me into doing more. I will not tolerate that, right? Because I've been very clear with what I can offer from a mental health point, and from a content point, and from a sanity point. This is what I have to give you. This is what I have. And it's going to be better, is the thing. Is that you can't put the, thank you Wishy for that Prime sub. Sometimes it's really easy to thank you Neuver Knockout. I appreciate it for that sub. I appreciate you. The 72 months. Thank you. You can't just go backwards, right? I have very fond memories of like everything that we've built together as a community, and everything we've done together as a community, and all the silly decks we played, and all the jokes we've had, and all the everything. I have very fond memories of all that. But everything in life is constantly in flux and changing. And you cannot just keep doing the same thing. As a creative person in an ever-changing digital landscape, you cannot just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Most people can't. It's like eventually things change, and you need to switch it up. Thanks Just Press Play for that sub in the 18 months. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So and what I'm trying to say, Mr. Mount Badu, don't feel guilty about unsubbing. I expect that. I expect people to no longer, feel like the amount of content that I am, like, I expect people to not be, not feel like it's worth their sub anymore. I expect people to feel that way. I expect that. That's just part of what it is. But you know, I kind of have like looked at the last 5 years and I'm like, okay, you know, what are the next 5 years going to look like? What are the next 5 years after that going to look like? It was always going to come to a point where I knew I wanted to invest myself into more creative endeavors, and I needed to give myself the time and the energy to be able to do that. I promise, like, when you start to see these YouTube videos coming out, if you honestly look at the YouTube videos that I am making on Tricky Hideout, right? If you look at those videos and you say, I don't even think that those videos are very good. I don't see why Tricky Jim is doing this. Then that's not. Is League over? Wait, is there not 5 rounds? I thought 18 players was 5 rounds. What the heck? Is League done? Is it over? I thought it was 5 rounds tonight. Everyone looks like they're packing up, bro. Dang it. 21's the cutoff for 5? Nuh-uh. I thought it was 17. So did Anthony just win again? That's it? It's over?
Hello?
Is League over?
Yeah, League's over, dude.
I thought there were 18 players.
There are 18 players, but there's a junior and a senior, so they don't count towards the 17 count.
Ah! All right.
I told you this last week, bro. It was the same thing.
What? Well, it's a new week.
It's the exact same one.
Well, how am I supposed to know that? All right. Anyways, it's all good.
What's up?
It's all good. Thank you, Heather.
Oh, yeah. Anytime.
Well, anyways, I'm not done yapping yet, so we got more chatting to do. Anyways. You know, whether or not people decide to support me on Twitch or whatever, that's each individual person's decision. I can't coach you on what your decision is. You know, I used to stream more. That used to be of a certain value to enough people to sub, right? Now I stream 3 days a week. And I don't do TCG Live and I don't do Pocket anymore. So like, of course, there are going to be people who are like, screw that. I don't want to sub anymore. And I get that, right? Yo, thank you, Lol Blaze, for that Prime sub. I appreciate it. But like, you know, there's going to be some people that sub on Discord. Honestly, the Discord is lit. 18,000 people over there. Yo, thanks, Maz. Those 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you. But, yo, and thank you, guys. Thank you. Like, the way that I think about it is that, like, if I would rather, I'm at a point in my career where for me, it's quality over quantity. And I want to consistently stream League Night here at Full Grip. I want to have one guest on a week for a live stream where I basically host a Pokemon TCG talk show and play session, which is something that nobody else on Twitch or YouTube really does consistently. So that's special, right? The fact that I have a 2-player setup here where I can host a guest and we can talk Pokemon, right? Like, nobody does that. So, like, if that's not special to you, then my channel's not very special to you, because that's what I'm doing now, right? I actually have the setup to host a guest, and we get together and we play cards and we chat, right? That's like kind of the vibes that we're going for. Yeah. Thank you so much, Moss, for those gifted subs. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you're having fun and liking the streams. Yo, thanks. Thank you, Monty, and thank you, Zeta. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Like, that's what we're aiming for, right? And then, like, and I understand that there's going to be less people overall that are interested in that. And I always, like, I knew, and this is part of why I was like so stressed about making this change, is because, like, how do you explain to so many people that you're not going to be doing the thing that they love anymore, right? And there's a certain amount of people that love TCG Live, and there's a certain amount of people that love TCG Pocket, and it's like, and I had spread myself too thin. You guys ever seen The Lord of the Rings, where Bilbo Baggins said he felt like he was spread too thin, like butter over toast? So, butter scraped over too much bread. Thank you. Yes. So yeah. And my hope is, and right now, it's hard for me to justify right now, right? It's hard for me to justify right now because I don't have a lot to show you guys, because I'm streaming 3 days a week, but I don't necessarily have the huge video projects out in the wild yet. My vision isn't out there yet, right? So in 6 months, in 12 months, I think that it's gonna make a lot more sense. When you guys see the kind of special videos that I'm gonna be releasing, it's gonna make so much more sense. The Toxic Cards video, I thought that video was a banger. I was so excited about that video when I made it, honestly. I thought it was so cool. The 20 most toxic, I thought that video was cool. Yeah. I thought, like, that video, you could watch that video in 5 years, it would still be cool. So, yo, Rainy Day Taco, I appreciate that. But it, you know, so it's gonna make more sense. Things are gonna make more sense as they, you know, as we go. Everything's gonna make more sense as I go, right? But I've got a vision. I've been very upfront about how often I'm going to be streaming. I really didn't want people to feel like I was trying to bait and switch them or anything. Like, that's not what we're trying to do here, right? I've been very upfront with, like, how much I'm streaming, and I got my stream schedule posted every week in the Tricky Gym Discord, and And you know, that's what we got. So I think that in due time we're gonna have something. It's going to be different. Change is always hard, but I see this as being like kind of the new frontier for what the Tricky Gym channel is going to be, right? Because there's only so much that a single person can do, right? I'm still creating the tag team. If you want background noise, I still do tag team podcast every Monday night, recorded with the boys, all right? That's an hour right there. I still do that. That's been important to me. It's a great way for me to connect with Riley and JW. And and I feel like is kind of more aligned with the kind of stuff that I want to be creating here in 2025. So still doing that. And I can't wait to drop some more exhilarating YouTube stuff on you guys. It's going to be sick. The video is almost done. God, I should not spoil it at all. I really should not spoil the YouTube video at all. I should not. There are so many spoilers all over my desktop right now, though, if I'm being honest. There are spoilers everywhere on my desktop, and I'll leave it at that. My entire desktop, because I just work on my desktop like this, okay? So yeah. Anyways, I'm getting out of here. You guys have a wonderful night, okay? I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Gym Leader Challenge. And then I'm also streaming Gym Leader Challenge Friday with Ben Morse. Special guest, Ben Morse. I told myself I wasn't going to spoil anything for Tricky Hideout, so no spoilers. The Tricky Hideout video will either release Thursday or Friday. I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you guys it's definitely coming out tomorrow because I have no idea how long anything takes anymore. So it'll be out by the end of the week. I can say with a decent amount of confidence that it'll be out by the end of the week. All right. Thank you guys so much for the love, for the support, and just for the patience as I get things figured out with my new stream flow. Change is hard, but I love you guys and I appreciate you guys rolling with the punches with me. And I'll be back tomorrow night with some more league action here at Full Grip Games.